Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old sage. The villagers respected and revered him for his wisdom and knowledge. The sage was known to be a great problem solver, and many people would come to him seeking his advice. One day, a group of young men from the village decided to play a prank on the old sage. They wanted to prove that the sage was not as wise as he was reputed to be. So they caught a small bird and held it in their hands. They approached the sage and asked him, "Is this bird alive or dead?" The young men had a plan. If the sage said the bird was alive, they would crush it and show it to him as proof that he was wrong. If he said the bird was dead, they would let it fly away, proving that he had no power over life and death. The sage knew what the young men were planning, but he did not let on. He looked at the young men and said, "The answer, my dear friends, is in your hands." The young men were taken aback by the sage's answer. They did not know what to do. They realized that the sage was not just wise, but he was also teaching them a valuable lesson. The lesson was that life is in our hands. We are responsible for our actions and the consequences that come with them. We have the power to create and destroy, and we should use this power wisely. The sage was not just a wise old man, but he was also a teacher who showed the young men the path to righteousness. The young men realized their mistake and apologized to the sage. They promised to use their power for good and to seek the sage's advice whenever they needed it. From that day on, the sage's wisdom was revered even more in the village, and his teachings were passed down from generation to generation. The story of the old wise sage teaches us that wisdom comes not just from knowledge, but also from experience. It reminds us that we should respect our elders and seek their advice when we need it. We should also remember that we have the power to make a positive impact on the world around us, and we should use this power wisely.